All right, everybody, welcome back to the homestead. It has been a really long time since we have filmed a video. Last month we had sickness. The month before that was Christmas, and now we're halfway through February and just getting a video out. So we apologize. That was not our intention, but when you have so much going on, it was just not at the top of our priority list. And then if you haven't already seen, I started my own channel. So we got Noah, we got Evie over here. She's going crazy over there. And we are starting seeds. Today, we are starting round one. Is our round one list, which is lavender, rosemary, calendula, I don't know, feverfew, and some tomatoes. We would like, okay, we have some exciting news. So we're gonna do 3 different Homestead conferences. We are so excited. The first one is in April, and it's called the Healing Land, and it's actually a local conference. It's going to be the first time they do it, and we have like several connections through that. We will be attending this Saturday, workshops and talks and all kinds of cool stuff. We will link information below if you are interested or if you just want to look at it. The second conference we're attending is one that we attended last year and also did a vlog on. It's called the Homestead Rendezvous. It's in May. We will hopefully be setting up a table there. It'll be our first time as a homestead setting up a table. We plan on selling like some of our seed starts and other things that we are not going to reveal just yet. And then the third conference we are attending is in July actually, and it's in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. So we will be gone for that one. We already booked like an Airbnb. I think we have friends going with us, and that's going to be a really cool trip. It's called Family Days on the Farm, and that one will be with a lot of like Amish and Mennonite families. So those are the conferences. That's our exciting news that we have coming up this spring and summer. We are just thrilled to be able to be a part of these. So right now, you want to explain what you're doing to your soil?
So what we're doing is we're doing something a little different this year. We're starting with Rachel picked this up at Lowe's. Anyway, Jiffy Natural and Organic Seed Start Mix. Normally we just use whatever we have on the homestead here, but it's a little cold out there right now and frozen. Everything's iced over. So anyway, we want to get this a little bit more wet, and we're going to use our soil blocker, and I'll show you that here in a minute once I get a little more water in there.
All right, so here is our setup. This is where we set up last year. We have our warming mat here, and they'll go on this shelf. We have canned goods up above, and then down below we have a box of jars which can easily be moved. Lavender, kind of alive, kind of not, and odds and ends. So this will all be moved, and we'll have 2 shelves of seed starts and lights going here, and then we were able to like rearrange and yeah. So we'll have that going. We're also going to start, we didn't have this on our list, is borage. We've never grown borage. We've never grown calendula. Those will be our 2 new herbs of the year. Both come highly recommended. Another homesteader commented on our Instagram that borage tastes really good like the flowers do, and they're very pretty. I'm so excited to try these 2 herbs. And then flowers, we're actually going to throw in some cosmos this year. We're going to do a flower patch. Where we had a little pumpkin patch last year. We had 3 pumpkin patches. We're actually going to turn one of those pumpkin patches into a flower patch because it'd be nice to have flowers to cut for bouquets this summer. And for Evie and Noah to pick. I have no idea. I have no idea what they're doing, but they're having a great time. What are you doing over there?
I can't get in the door.
You're banging on the door. Why?
I was sad.
Wow. Hi, Noah. Are you hanging out with Sissy? Is she crazy? No children were harmed in the making of this video. Yeah, so James is just working on the soil blocker. It's a 1-person job because we only have 1 soil blocker.
So what we do is doing this one-handed because, you know, thumbs up. get your soil in here, pack it nice and tight. It's awful hard when you're a righty. And we pack it nice and tight there for you. Put it right where you want it. Squeeze. And your little blocks come out. It's got a little, we'll call it a divot marker. And you just put your seed right down in there. Sprinkle it on top, and you're good to go.
Okay.
All right, so guys, with the soil blocker, what you want to do is you want to add your soil in, and then you want to add your water a little bit at a time, because you can't just put dry soil and expect it to hold shape. So basically, moisten it. You want to be able to not quite be able to squish all the water out with your hand when you make a fist, you know, squeezing it, and then press it. And then what I do is I go through when I've got, you know, after I've pressed the whole thing down, go through, push it in each block. This is only a 4 block. I think you can buy 5 or 6. I'm not sure. This was off of Amazon. And then I just go through and pack this by hand. So
it's really messy.
It is a little messy.
If you remember last year, we grew lavender, feverfew, and rosemary. I just want to give you like the results of that. So they all germinated, they all transplanted, and they all produced phenomenally. We were able to dry all 3 of these from our own seed, our rosemary, our lavender, and our feverfew. Baker Creek heirloom seeds. And I didn't do anything special. Like you saw with soil block, started them inside, took them outside, transplanted, like nothing special at all. So very easy. Highly recommend growing these herbs. They smell phenomenal, and rosemary tastes so good. Some people cook with lavender. I have cooked with it before. It's in herbs de Provence, which is a French herbal mixture for cooking. So yeah. So just a quick tip when you're planting seeds and you have kids running around and you're like getting interrupted and distracted over and over, is to line up your seeds in alphabetical order when you start. So that's what James and I did today, is we set our seeds up in alphabetical order and put them in rows in alphabetical order. Like, you know, we started with the borage, so that when we come back later to label it, we know what is what. Even though we've already walked away, we're like, okay, alphabetical order, left to right, we know what's what. So it really helps if you have kids and you're getting interrupted. Okay, let's just establish the fact that I'm in the basement and the lighting could not be worse. So I apologize that I look almost like a pale zombie, and that there are weird freaky shadows that make me look even more like a zombie. Okay, so anyway, let me show you the setup. Okay, so there's the seeds. We have the dome on top. The warming mat is right here. You can see the warming mat, and we're good to go. And then there's natural light that comes in through this window. Once it's germinate, we will pull out that warming mat and we'll put grow lights in. So we use the warming mat to germinate. Some people don't. Some people just do directly the light, which is cool too. Whatever, either works. It doesn't matter from our experience. No matter what, we've had good germination rates. So yeah, that's a wrap for now.
Excuse me, did the morning I went to stand.
As you can see, we have sprouted, germinated, whatever. So excited. Those cosmos shot up quite a bit more than I expected them to. We have tomatoes coming up. There is actually calendula coming up. I don't know if you can see it or not. The calendula is coming up. Last year, the lavender and rosemary actually took a whole month to germinate. So I'm not even looking forward for that until March. And I don't know about the borage. I don't know how long it takes to germinate, but all the tomatoes have sprouted, all the kinds anyway. And yeah, we're really excited. So I guess what we'll do is we'll transfer these to little pots here in a few weeks when they get a little bit bigger. And then we'll have a whole shelf of pots. And then a shelf with a light, because we're going to do a round 2 of seed starts in a few weeks. And then our round 3 of seeds will be direct sows. So we'll do 2 rounds indoors and 1 round outdoors of direct sow. And then with that, like obviously plants that were already started at like a greenhouse that we didn't start ourselves. So that's the plan. Honey, do you want to add anything to that?
So I'm super excited about the bumblebees. These guys right here,
I need this.
right there. Those, Evie every year has a cherry tomato plant, and we call them her bubby maters. So
and Noah now too.
and Noah now. Yep. So we now have a bunch of bubby maters coming up.
Yeah.
Italian heirloom. I think we just tried it last year, just a couple, and they did pretty good. And
Yeah.
the mortgage lifters we tried last year, and they did
They
really
did
good.
really well.
So super duper excited.
We have them on the warming mat and under the light. We did a lot of research last year on like lights and mats, and a few people said that if you have them on a mat and under a light, they can actually burn. But our basement is so cold right now. I mean, like air temperature, I'm guessing, is around 55 down here some days, especially since we put them by the door because it lets in light from the south, but it also creates a draft. Even though they are up on the shelf, we just get a little concerned because it's still February that they're gonna get cold, that they'll get too cold. What are you doing? Come here. So we're leaving the mat there. I mean, if they show signs of like frying, here's our little helper, or burning. Yes, he has on a Minnie Mouse bib. Like when you have two kids of opposite gender, they wear each other's stuff.
He had an orange popsicle.
If you know, you know. But yes, we're gonna leave the mat for now because we want them to be warm enough. Also, when you are doing a light, you want to make sure your starts are actually within 2 to 3 inches of the light. So what we'll do is we'll boost this up probably with egg cartons actually, and set this up on egg cartons and get them closer to the light so they grow straight and strong. And we'll probably do that really soon because otherwise they'll get really, really leggy. I think that's it.
Say that again.
That's your update. We're excited.